Bullseye Joe, and thank you for listening. It's March 15th, 2009, and this video is titled, How to Begin. So I've put up a number of videos already. Basically they were explaining why you should invest your own money, and then I started doing some economic commentary because I felt a little funny, telling people, hey, there's this thing called the stock market and you can make a lot of money in it. Meanwhile, the stock market has been plummeting downward, so anyone who doesn't know what they're doing and is getting involved is just going to lose their money. So I just wanted to acknowledge that it's a very bad time out there, and I've talked about it in other videos. I'm really not going to talk about it right now. Although the market has been going up, it looks like a nice bear market rally. Although I would expect the market to head back down after a point, maybe after we get to Dow 8,000. But again, these videos really were more supposed to be how you go about learning how to invest in the stock market, not current economic commentary. But I guess I'll probably mix in a little of both. But this is actually how to begin. So I've told you why I think you should do it. I've told you some books you should read. I've told you, go back and watch the other videos. I think my videos are worthwhile. But now what I want to tell you is how to begin. Now what I'm going to tell you to do is watch somebody else's video. There's a gentleman on YouTube called Airlon Trading. That's A-I-R-E-L-O-N Trading. And he just recently redid some videos. In fact, he's a trader, a professional trader. He does not have a real job. He trades for a living. He does have a wife who also has a job, so it's not like he's supporting a whole family with his trading. Although I do believe he knows what he's doing, and give him enough time, and he will have enough money where he can just support his family and his wife will quit. But again, I don't know this guy personally. I'm just telling you from watching his videos for a long time now, this guy's one to listen to. Very well read, very knowledgeable, and I believe successful. I don't know how successful. So anyway, he's got a video that he just recently redid, and I have it in my favorites. So if you click on my name, I'm not sure if it's this side or this side, Bullseye Joe, you can click on, you should see an area that will say favorites, and there's, 15 videos in there right now. In that area, this video will be there. It's called How to Begin with Investing and Trading Series, and the first one is called Educational Roadmap. It's 7 minutes and 34 seconds long. It's a very good video, very good intro video on how to begin. I'll just give you a quick summary, but I strongly suggest you click on my favorites and watch my video, or search for Airlon Trading in YouTube and watch many of his videos. He has lots of videos. First thing he tells you in how to begin is, the first thing you need to do is know what do you need to learn first, not what do you need to do first. Don't do anything. If you jump into the market and you don't know anything and haven't learned anything, you're in a lot of trouble. And so then he tells you the steps of what he thinks the things you need to learn are. He says they're investing versus trading, what the differences are. He says money management principles. That's sort of, how much of your total pool of money do you risk on one trade. Money management principles. It's basically how to invest without going broke, how to, control your risk as you're, taking risk in the stock market. Then he mentioned briefly emotional discipline. Personally, that's sort of my favorite topic, and I really want to get to videos where I talk about all the different emotions and that go through your mind as you're trading and how to control them. Then he talks about learning how the market works, which again, I haven't really focused too much on that. However, I did recommend, Market Wizards, interviews with top traders. There's Market Wizards, interviews with top traders. It was by Jack D. Schwager. I've recommended that in prior videos. In this book, you sort of learn how the market works by learning all, interviews with top traders who made a lot of money. Then finally, after all these steps, he mentions strategies for buying and selling. And he sort of comments out that all beginners jump right to that. They try and learn how to buy and sell. They try and get into the market and buy something and make some money. And yet they haven't learned all that other knowledge that you really need in order to understand what you're doing. So I would say go watch that video. Why watch the video? Well, I'll just give you one example. I just bought, a week ago, Citigroup at $1.05, and Citigroup is now $1.80. To be honest, I've already sold out of the total position. I sold out around $1.58. Let's say I made 50%. I think I did that in like 3 or 4 days. I made 50%. That's why you learn how to do this. The opportunity to make so much money quickly is there. I have a friend who's already tripled his money this year. Now, yeah, he's probably taking some risky positions, maybe not things you want to do. I'm just telling you the opportunity that's out there. I mean, here we are, early March, he's tripled his money already. I just mentioned a trade I did last week where I made 50%, in a few days. So this is why I suggest you learn how to do this. It's really, it can be really profitable, as I've said before. So watch Erlon Trading's videos. In fact, he has a number 2 video where it's how to begin with investing and trading series, and it's called Implementation Outline, where he talks about sort of opening a brokerage account, sort of practicing. He tells you not to use real money first, practice for a while. I'll admit I never did that. I jumped in with real money right away. It probably would be a good idea to practice. Unless the money you're jumping in with you can lose and you'll have more money to try again. Because when you're new, remember what my videos said. Think for yourself. Learn to not lose your money, and then after you think for yourself and learn to not lose your money, you actually begin to make money. Now, how do you begin to make money? Well, I'm telling you, and Erlon Trading is telling you. So that's it. I'll just make one more comment. I know in one video I sort of mentioned buying gold. I still think that would work, although I'm not nearly as bullish as I was. When I said that the total, economy was collapsing and the, structural foundation of our financial, institutions were collapsing, it looks like that's not happening now. So in my opinion, the gold trade now is inflation. And as inflation kicks up with all the money that the Fed is printing, gold should rise. But that's a future story. That's not, here and now. I personally like to buy things that are sort of going higher, here and now. I don't want to say I'm not patient. I just would rather be in something where I'm making money, soon rather than waiting a few months or so. But again, that's my personal style. I did say that I have a video saying, you need to tailor your trading to your personality. So I think I'm providing really good information here. I hope you like it. Anyone who's watching these videos, and I'll admit so far it's not that many people, but if you're watching, you have questions or comments, type them in, especially questions. If there's something you sort of want me to touch on, and and if it's something I know about, if you put a question there, I'll try and make a video on it. I've been a little slow in making videos. I've been pretty busy lately, so I'm probably still going to be a little slow about making videos. But if you watch the videos I've already put up, read the books I've suggested. Stan Weinstein, How to Profit in Bull and Bear Market, The Secrets for Profiting in Bull and Bear Markets. The Market Wizards. Watch Erlon Trading's videos. He has tons of them if you really want to get into them. Money Management Series, How to Begin. Great information there. There's information out there. If you want to take the time and effort to learn, the money is also out there. Like I said, I just made over 50% in Citigroup in less than a week. A friend of mine's tripled his money this year. And we're talking decent amounts of money here, so it can be done. Good luck. I encourage you to learn, and I will make more videos in the future about more things. Thank you.